Hello students, how are you? I hope all are fine. Once again, I am Mr. K. Selvamani sitting in front of you. First of all, I welcome all of you to our YouTube channel. This is Python video lesson number 54. In previous lessons, that is Python video lesson number 53, we studied about entry, how to add one entry widget into top level window, as well as how to retrieve the input through entry. That is what we studied. After that, we studied frame, how to place more than one frame, or how to divide the top level window using more than one frame, and then how to place the child widget over the frame. That is what we studied in previous lesson. That is Python video lesson number 53. This is Python video lesson number 54. In this lesson, first we are going to study about Tkinter variable. Then, if time permits, we can proceed with check button as well as radio button. First, we are going to study about Tkinter variable. You know what do you mean by variable? It is a memory location which is used to store the values. In Tkinter, a little bit different, we will see. Tkinter variable is there are 4 Tkinter variable. One is string variable, StringVar. S as well as V should be capital. That is used to store. From the name itself, we can conclude string values. Similarly, int I should be capital, V should be capital, other should be small letter. Used to store int values. Similarly, double D as well as V should be capital. Used to store double values. Last one is Boolean value. That is fourth one. Boolean var. So, with the help of graphical user interface, top level window, we can store and retrieve values with the help of these 4 variables: string variable, integer variable, double variable, as well as Boolean variable. Now I will write one small program to explain StringVar, IntVar, DoubleVar, as well as Boolean var. Before proceed with the program, how we can store values into StringVar, as well as IntVar, DoubleVar, as well as Boolean var, as well as how to retrieve the value stored in the variable. So there are 2 methods are used. One is set and get. These are used to get set, are used to set and retrieve values of these variables. From the name itself, we can conclude set is used to store values into the Tkinter variable, and get is used to retrieve the values stored in the Tkinter variable. By using this set and get, we can store and retrieve the values. Now I will proceed with the program. explain Tkinter variables. As usual, we have to import Tkinter. From Tkinter import star. Top of window I have to create, that is root 1 equal to tk. Now I like to create a new variable which is used to store string values. StringVar. That's all. This strvar is a one variable which can able to store only strings. String means alphanumeric special character, since it is declared under StringVar. Similarly, I like to create three remaining variables. IntVar. These should be capital. Then double. Whatever name you want, you can give it. Then BoolVar. Boolean variable. So we created four variables: strvar, IntVar, DoubleVar, BoolVar. Okay. Now we like to store the values into already created variables and then retrieve the values which are stored in the variable. So now IntVar dot. Before that, we can go for StringVar. StringVar. StringVar is a one variable. It has one value, one method, that is set. Here I like to give my name, that is Selvam, within single quotes. Then for IntVar, with the help of set, I like to assign my age, that is 45. Similarly, DoubleVar. For this, with the help of set function, I like to give one floating point value, 5,000, 5,000, my salary I like to type. At last, BoolVar. Set. Here I like to type one Boolean value, either true or false. We created four variables, as well as we are assigning values, four different values into the declared variable with the help of set. Now I like to display the value stored in the Tkinter variable. Very simple. strvar.get. Set is used to assign a value, whereas get is used to retrieve the value. Print. Then DoubleVar get. Print BoolVar get. That's all. Let's check the program. Tkinter import enter. At last we got to root 1.main. Root 1 tk strvar, IntVar, DoubleVar, BoolVar, StringVar.get, IntVar.set, DoubleVar.set, BoolVar.set. I think everything fine. I will save the program and then I can run the program. We'll see the output. It just run the program. It shows some error. StringVar is not, I think it should be strvar. Right, strvar. Here also is okay. Now see, Selvam 45, 5,000.50 as well as true. I think nothing to explain here. No need to explain anything. We are declaring four variables. We are assigning the four values into the four different variables and then we are displaying. That's all. So this is called as a Tkinter variable, StringVar, IntVar, DoubleVar, BoolVar. Now we switch to theory part. Okay. Here now we will see checkbox or check button. Check button is a one child wicket which is used for multiple choice. Multiple choice choosing m number of n options, n possible options, n possible options. As well as in this assign each check button or checkbox or check button different variable. This variable should be either string variable, int variable, double variable, as well as boolean variable. So check button, as usual, you know very well, it is used for multiple choice. There are many number of possible options. Out of this, you can select more than one or more than one, that depends upon your requirement. Choosing m number of n possible options. While declaring check button, we have to assign each button with one variable, with a different variable. It is very much because each and every check button should hold one value, a different value. Now I will write one small program to explain how to use check button in Tkinter. To explain. Check button. As usual, here I want to put only one check button. You could select the check button, you selected one, it should display. You could unselect the same check button. You selected 0, that value should be displayed. If you selected, number 1 should be displayed. If you deselect it, number 0 should be displayed. That is for our aim. So I need, as usual, one top level window. Before that, we have to import from Tkinter, import star. Then I have to create the root window. Okay. In the root window, I have to add one checkbox button. CB equal to here check button root 1 comma. Here we have to mention what text should be displayed along with the check button. That is Windows. So one check box along with the text Windows will be displayed. After that, if you select or deselect, whatever may be, what value should be displayed, that we have to mention here. Is a variable that's equal to var1. So this var1 is a variable. Into this var1, we can store either 0 or 1. That we will see how to do. Then command, just like whatever is in button. Here either use show fun or lambda function also we can use. We will see afterwards how to do. So far clear. Here I need one more function, that is show fun. It is show fun. Here we have to print value stored in this variable var1. That is you selected. Var1 dot get. Okay, so this CB1 along with the Windows put tick mark inside the check button, number 1 will be assigned to var1. Then show1 will be called. You select number 1. If you deselect the same checkbox button CB1, number 0 will be assigned to var1. Then command handler, that is show1 will be called. You select 0, that will be displayed. Good. Now here we have to pack cb1.pack root1.main loop. That's a very simple. So top level window, cb1 check button, root button, text, variable var1, comma, show1. Okay. So I save the program and then run the program. We'll see the output. Nothing shows. Here it shows one error. var1 is not we didn't define the variable. Here I have to define one more variable. Since 0 and 1s are integer variable values, we like to store either 0 or 1 into var1. You should declare as var1 equal to IntVar. Okay, so var1 is declared under IntVar. Since 0 or 1 may be stored into var1. See it here. One top level window along with one checkbox button, that is text within. Now we select this one, you'll get view selected one. If we deselect the check button, you'll get 0. That's a very simple. Okay, now see the program here. So here we are creating on top level window. We are creating var1 as a variable under IntVar because 0, 1 may be stored into var1. We are creating one check button over the top level window with the text windows. Variable equal to var1. Command show 1. After the pack. So if you select this one, 1 will be stored into var1. Then show1 will be called. You selected. What is the value stored in var1 now? 1 will be stored, that will be displayed. If we deselect, 0 will be stored into var1. After that, show1 will be called. Then you selected 0. That's a very simple. Good. Now the same function can be modified here using lambda. In this case, using command handler, if you select or deselect CB1, show1 will be called. That means control will be shifted to subfunction, that is show1. After that, this program or coding lies within show1 will be executed. After that, command will becomes control will becomes after this statement. This is one. Instead of transferring the control from year to year and then transferring from year to year, this set of lines or set of coding can be inserted here itself. Then our program will run fast. That we will study while doing very the beginning itself, while studying Python. How we can do it? That's also very simple. Within bracket, lambda. We can use lambda function. Lambda colon. Show1. We have to proceed show1 function. Then lambda close function. Very simple. Since it's a very small program, this program will run faster than previous one. But the problem is we cannot notify the speed since it is a very small program. Output will be same. The advantage of using lambda is the control will not be transferred from year to year. After that, year to year. Instead of transferring the control, the code lies within show1 will be inserted here. That means command equal to print you selected var1 dot get, just like that. Okay. So now on we can use this lambda function itself. So already we studied in definition part, check button. You can choose n number of n possible options. Here we are using only one option. How we can use more than one? That we will see now. I like to save with another name. That is 180. Good. Same check button, but working with more than one check button as well as one frame. we are going to add three checkbox buttons. Check buttons on frame. We can use frame. So first, I like to add one frame over the top level window. Over the frame, I want to add three check buttons. That is what our aim. Good, we will see. First, I like to create top level window. Three variable I have to create. All should be IntVar, var var2 equal to IntVar. Similarly, var3 equal to IntVar. So we are creating three var. After that, we have to create one frame. Frame1 equal to frame. Now we can format the frame with a different style, just like background color, foreground color, size, everything we can give. Here root1, comma, relief, that's equal to raised. Now we will see raised. Small changes will be there in the outlook of the or appearance of the frame. That we will see. I will explain you. Equal to, which means width and height already we studied. Equal to 200 as well as height equal to 200, comma, border width. Equal to 5 as well as beige color. Beige equal to red. Now this frame should be packed first. Frame1 dot pack. Good. After that, I am creating one check button one. Instead of root, that should be placed over frame1. Good. So here everything same. Where command equal lambda pack. This pack also we can put it here itself. That's all. Pack. So same set of coding can be duplicated for 2 times for CB1, CB2 as well as CB3. CB2. Instead of Windows, it can be changed as Linux. Here var2. Already we studied in definition part. So each check button with a different variable. These are same thing. We will say here CB3, here Macintosh or Apple OS. var3. Good. Everything back. All call show fun. Show fun. You selected var1. Instead of this one, we can change it as print Windows. Windows. Either if Windows is selected, it will give Windows 1. If it is not selected, Windows 0. I should duplicate the same line for 2 times. One for Linux, another for Apple OS. Linux, here it should be var2. Then Apple OS. Apple OS, it should be var3. That's a very simple. Good. Now I can check the program myself. Tkinter, root 3 variable declared under IntVar. One frame is declared. Leaf rise 200, 200, border with 5, BG clerical red. Okay. That frame 1 is packed. 3 checkbox button is created. Frame 1, Windows, variable var1, var2, var3, command lambda show function. Okay. Now I save the program. I run the program. We'll see the output code. Now see, this is the frame. So frame background color is red. First I want to select Windows. So see Windows 1, Linux 0, Apple OS 0. That means where 1 is assigned with 0, where 1 is assigned with 1 since it's selected. CB1 is selected. Where 2 is assigned with 0 since CB2 not selected. Same thing, where 3 assigned with 0 since CB3 is not selected. Similarly, I select Linux. See the output here 110. Similarly, all are selected. So all with Windows 1, Linux 1. If we deselect again, at last I deselect everything, all are 0, 0, 0. That's all very simple. Once again, I will explain the program. Now it's running. Windows is selected. See it here. These are same thing. Frame 1 is added. Frame 1 pack. If CB1 is selected, check button frame 1, where 1. Where 1 will be assigned with 1. It calls show fun. So these two are not assigned. Where 2 will be assigned with 0. Where 3 also assigned with 0. Then show fun is called Windows 1, Linux 0, Apple 0. If you select this one, again show fun will be called Windows 1, Linux 1, Apple 0. Now this called this one. That means where 1 0, where 1 1 since all are selected. Where 2 also 1, where 3 also 1. That is all. What about this background design? See, I like to change border with here. I said 50. Now we can clearly see the changes. See that the background design. This is border is 50. Since it is raised, it will. So this is the program which explains for check button. Now we'll proceed with radio button. Radio button means only one choice you got to select, not all. Check button means more than one you can select. Radio button. Choosing one of n number of options, n number of choice or options. One more thing, here same variable for all radio button. Here assign each check button with a different variable. Assign same variable for all radio button because only one can be selected at a time. Here more than one can be selected in check button. That is the thing. Now I will write one more program which clearly explains radio button. I just save this program with some other name 181. Same thing, program to add 3 radio button on the frame. Everything is same. Here as usual, Tkinter, one variable is enough, where 1 is enough. Okay, everything same. Here instead of RB CB we can put RB. Instead of check button, it should be radio button. Radio button, frame 1, text, here where 1, that's all, everything is same. So I can select RB1 radio button, frame 1, text windows, it should be Linux. Linux, it should be Apple OS. Everything same. Okay. So now here only one selected. So there is no more three options, only one option. That means these two options no more need. Selected. Here either Windows, Linux or Apple OS should be displayed here. Here instead of variable var1, we have to see something text. Text is Linux. Everything same. Okay, nothing to worry. Here, what values should be stored into var1? We have to mention. If it is a check button, if you select, 1 will be assigned. If you deselect, 0 will be assigned. It is constant, do not change. Whereas for a radio button, we can give the value. That is value equal to, here I can put capital letter Windows. That's all. That means if you select RB1, capital letter Windows will be assigned to var1. That is the concept behind it. Similarly, if you select RB2, here value should be capital letter. Here Linux value should be small letter. Linux should be assigned. That means if you select RB1, sorry, RB2 as well as RB3, these both will be automatically deselected. Then capital Windows will be assigned to var1. So fun will be called. You selected Windows. If you select RB2, RB1, RB3 will be deselected automatically. Linux with capital R that will be stored into var1, then so fun. Here you selected Linux will be displayed. If you select RB3, RB1, RB2 will be automatically deselected. Here I have to mention value. Value equal to Apple OS. Apple OS in capital that will be assigned into var1. Then so fun will be called. You selected Apple. That's good. Now I will save the program. I will run the program. We will see the output. Same thing here. Now you know the radio button layout. First I am selecting Windows. It shows error. So since we are declaring as a int variable, we are trying to store string variable. That is error. That should be changed as string variable. Because these Windows as well as Linux, Apple are string. That is a problem. In previous case, while using check button 0, 1, that will be stored into var1. That is why we declare IntVar. Here we are trying to store string values into the variable. See it here. Now I select Windows. You selected Windows. If you select Linux, automatically RB1 will be deselected. Good. That is what we like to see. So one more thing. Here all these three RB1s or radio buttons are placed in center wise. I want to put in left corner. What we have to do? That also very simple. Here I have to use one more word. That is anchor. Tag anchor equal to, we have to use west in capital letter. That's a very simple. So all should be anchor equal to capital letter. Capital. equal to capital V. You will see. So see, all child bit gates are placed westwise. Okay, the frame is placed centerwise. These child bit gates, that is radio buttons. All radio buttons are placed left alignment. That is called as a eastwards. Sorry, westwards. If you want to place eastwise, we can decrease the border also. It is very not look 0. Here we have to place E. Similarly, E stands for east. Now we can see the changes clearly. See it here. All are placed aligned with eastwards. Similarly, north, south, northeast, as well as southwest, southeast, northeast, everything we can use it. This is for below. So now, I think already explained this program. Nothing new in this one. Okay. Now I go to the definition part to see what are the anchor, what are the values can be given to anchor attribute of pack. For anchor attribute pack, we can assign capital E or capital W, capital N for north, or capital S for south. Similarly, northwest, then northeast, then southwest, then southeast, then center. Everything should be capital letter. Okay, by default, center will be there. That is why all the radio buttons are placed in center of the frame. If you place east, everything will be placed eastwards. As well as west, N stands for north, S stands for south. South means bottom west. North means top. Northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. By default, it will be center. Today, I stopped here itself. Today, we studied 4 different TK variables, how to set as well as retrieve the values into the Tkinter variable, how to place a check button, how to place a radio button, how to retrieve the values based on the values stored in check button and radio button, how to place the child bit gates by using anchor attribute of pack. That is what we studied. I hope all of you enjoyed this lesson. In next lesson, we'll study a little bit more. Until then, thank you, students. Bye-bye.